Hello everyone, welcome on back to Survival Challenge. Alright, so first things first, I have some long planks, wood beams, buffalo mozzarella, and goat milk bottled to be sold. I didn't check where I'm gonna sell it, but they are needed to be sold. After that, I'll likely be doing the cotton harvest we have way up there, and then obviously we have the green bean field here. Both that are, well, ready to harvest. So I'm going to at least try to get them done today. That's the goal, at least. Yeah, otherwise, I know there is a couple other things we could have actually sold. I think the raisins are a fairly good price, but I kind of... We have a lot of milk products, so I'm like, oh, I'm going to sell that. That's kind of more of a priority at the current moment, so I'll do that. The raisins, I mean, maybe they'll be good next month, too, and... I think we had jarred green beans that were good, and we had a lot of things. I could have probably sold it instead of, like, the wood beams and stuff, but we're starting to have a lot of wood beams and long planks stack up. We were getting almost full in that, so maybe we'll get to doing raisins next month. I could look at the price. Jarred green beans I'm not really concerned about, just because we're going to make a lot more of those. So it's not the end of the world if, there's a little bit more that have to be sold a little bit later. But yeah, I'll look at the raisins. Maybe I'll sell them next month too. Otherwise, the corn, I'm kind of leaning, we're 2 months out. That might end up just being sold. I kind of keep going back and forth on this. Or I could try to put 30,000 liters in the production and run it out. I never looked where this should be sold. I should check quick. Let's see. Sell everything. Farmer's market. Sell everything and farmer's market. I think I'll sell everything at the sell everything. Oops. So I keep going back and forth on it. I think if I'm being realistic, we could probably put the 30,000 liters in there. It might just finish towards the end, and that's entirely fine. I mean, if it finishes a little bit late. That's almost everything. That's 463,000. Oh, I tried to hit that button in time. I didn't. We have two more pallets of this. Must have just been outside of the trigger when I started driving away. Alright. We sell this too. This won't be much. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it's 9,000 actually. It's not too bad. Up to 5.8 million. And we're still, obviously, got a lot of things to sell, including the, 500,000 in cereal. So I might do it, and then I think it's 30,000 liters. I think 37,000. So I'll try to put 37,000 liters in there, and then, go after that. And then obviously we'll just try to rent out the honey and everything. There is a decent amount of money in there through honey and everything. Obviously oats, it can be made into something. Sugar, that's just a waste at this point. That was a big accident. There's a decent amount of money in there, but yeah, I did want to look at the raisins price. Yeah, we can sell it next month. I think I will. I'll sell it next month too, and we'll actually have more, and more than likely there might be a couple other things to sell. So we'll do it that way. Should allow us to get more done today and allow us to kind of have another thing to do next month. Because we will hit a point here, because I'm likely not to replant any of these fields, that we won't have a lot going on, because we're not going to replant. I'm going to have to look at how our fields are. Are they a decent ways out, all of them? That's a couple months. We're on episode 90. This one's a couple months. This one's a couple months. I think these are about the same length, actually, away. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to replant. which means I could sell the planter. What will actually probably happen is I don't think I'll sell the harvesters and stuff today. I'm going to make my backup that I always make. That's always late in the series. I make a backup on... admittedly, I don't know if I did it on Moss Valley. But I try to make a backup towards the end of the series, and then if we want to look back on it, we could. I think it's more impressive on survival challenges than, you know, a map playthrough, just because the map changes a lot in a survival challenge versus, I'll say like a map playthrough. We're not changing that much in those. Next month is October, so it's possible like canola oil might be good too. Yeah, I think I'll wait on selling some of the equipment, and then I'll try to remember to make that after this. Just the backup save if we want to go and check it out in the future. I know I did it on, was it a 1K special? 1,000 sub special? I went back and looked at a lot of old ones. That would have been, that was FS22. Yes, we were still in FS22, I think. A couple months away from FS25 coming out, if I remember correctly. I seem to remember talking about possibly doing that during the second season or series of Survival Challenge, which would have been FS22. So I know I remember talking about if I want to do a live stream, if I want to do just a video for it, and in the end, a live stream can be tough to kind of figure the time in for. Maybe someday we'll have to do it, but someday we'll definitely try to do something. But now the real question is, will our nitrogen get fixed from this? Because it did get all messed up the last time I did cotton, because our nitrogen is bad in this field. Well, it showed it was after harvest, even though it automatically applies it when you put it there. I have no say in it if there is enough nitrogen. The planter puts it on itself. We can see if it would change now. Probably not yet. Up to 100. That is a good sign. This is 89. At the current moment, I'm thinking this will go into the bioplastics, but I don't think we'll do any more. That's mainly because it really didn't take that long to be ran through. We still have a lot of canola. It's going through almost 10,000 liters a month, though. Polyurethane is a lot less than the acetate. Oh, you made a lot more acetate for the... Also, obviously, that's all stuff that will be sold this winter sometime, all of those products. But when I checked, at least I remember a lot of them being sold this winter time. Does this have automatic drop on? Yeah, I gotta turn it on. Before I forget, I gotta turn it on. Kinda wish I could just, there's a way to just set it to automatically turn on. To be fair, I might have turned it off. Possible. Yeah, obviously this is a fairly large harvest here, and I know, like I talked about, I think last month too, the green beans, it's a huge harvest there. It's easily half hour, 40 minutes of real time to probably finish it. It doesn't feel like it's going to take that long, but all of a sudden you're, a half hour deep, and you're like, dang. Taking a lot longer than expected. I know this takes a while too, but all of this has to be done, so I think we'll try just to get everything done this month. Otherwise, we kind of just stretch it out for no real reason. It just might have Might be a little bit more time lapses today, possibly, if we're, finishing up the harvest. But then, like next month, we might, or next video, or episode in Survival Challenge, will likely end up possibly going through a couple of months. Just because we might not have that much going on for a couple of months for harvest. So, potential 2 months in one. We're not that far away at this point. I'm just going to say that now. Really, I think the last thing we'll end up doing is probably doing the canola harvest, honestly. I mean, that's probably one of the last things. Probably most of the productions will be done. We'll basically do the harvest, and that'll be just about everything. More than likely, the way it shapes up. That's still probably 9 months out at this point, so gonna take a while. Obviously to get there, and a lot of things will be done by then. Like the corn isn't too far away, and then obviously I can run out 30,000 liters pretty quick. So, well, I think I'll just go ahead and we'll start up a time lapse for this. We'll finish out this field here. So I'll talk to everyone once the time lapse is done. Alright, so we're just about done here with the cotton. Last small little strip here, and then we'll get the partial bale. More than likely, it looks like emptied, and obviously we can then move on to the green beans, which, like I said, probably have a lot of time lapses today. If we want to get as much as we can get done, it's going to end up that way, and we have rather large fields and harvest to do. It is what it is, but we gotta still get everything done at the end of the day. So we'll have to get this moved over to the bioplastics. I think we'll do it in the bioplastics. I don't foresee any reason why we don't. So I'll definitely make sure these make it into there, whether it's on camera or not. I don't know, but I'll definitely make sure they make it into there. And obviously we got this stuff is all over here. Or this also mega harvest at this point. It's a mega harvest. It's rather large, so it'll of course take a while. This will go into the preserved food factory. I'm not sure on. Oh, it's out of green beans already, so I foresee it going through this in here as well fairly quick. Yeah, this is also, you know, super long of a time lapse. As you can probably see, it's a rather large field and a rather small harvester. It's kind of just it's gonna be a long one in the end, just because of that. So yeah, I'll make sure you get the cotton bales put into the bioplastics. Obviously, I'd like to try to get it in there this month. Otherwise, I don't think I'll be putting anything else into there. The preserved food factory will just get the green beans in. That'll basically be done outside of the peas that just go in there. Actually, I just thought of this. I think, is this still on? It is still active. Oh, it never even ran out because I never moved these pallets, so it was full. That would explain a lot of things. Let's just quickly get these moved. I don't think we have any more canola for it, but... Alright, well, let's get this turned back on then. That way it can actually run through what we have. I would like to see it done, obviously, November? When they're higher priced. That should leave enough room, I think, so. Good thing I checked. Heck, I haven't looked in so long. Yeah, we don't have any canola in here, so yeah, whatever's in there, once it's out, it is out. Obviously, like I brought up with the corn, or the cereal, we'll likely, just try to put, 37,000 liters in there and, you know, call it after that. For that, because of course we'll have enough raisins and stuff, but that'll be one of the last things you do, probably right alongside the canola harvest, is that will be definitely fairly late on, it appears. But otherwise, we're not that far out, actually. So that is something I just kind of realized, so I'll definitely probably have to look at what maps I want to replace this with. Because the next playthrough that would take over for Survival Challenge would be just a map playthrough. I don't foresee us doing anything else at the current moment. Maybe in the future I'll do like another one-year challenge, but not at the current moment. I'm not planning on it. Now, obviously, eventually we'll do another survival challenge, but I'm gonna make sure it's harder. It's gonna be couple months away though. We'll make sure and do other things, you know, in between. Good to change things up and not do the same thing all the time, you know. Do some just regular map playthroughs and. Last time I remember, I did have a couple up that I was gonna. Possibly do playthroughs on, but you know we'll see, obviously, for certain, just because things change. But I haven't looked at the map, so I know there was one that just recently came out as of recording. I forget who made it. Was it Black Sheep Modding? I forget the name of the map. But that seems very interesting. I know that's one of the ones I looked at, so. If it's not done by Black Sheep Modding, I do apologize. But I think that's who did it, but I might be wrong. It just seems to be what's coming to mind, at least. But I might be way wrong. I'll see if I am wrong, then let me know, but... if it's even the same map that I'm thinking of. I don't know how to even pronounce the name, so I'd have to even look that one up. Yeah. I want to say, is it a French map? I don't know. I haven't looked a ton into it. It might be surprising. I know I was gonna look into it and kind of see. Otherwise, I think there's one in Italy. There's a map. There's one other one. Was it the UK or something too that I was gonna look at? A couple of good ones that I was gonna possibly look into. I'll see it. Takes a little bit of time. I'll get to look into those fairly soon. Likely by the time we're wrapping this up, dang near. But this yield actually looks really good. It's all green at the bottom. Kind of surprised. Although this should be good pH and nitrogen, I would imagine. I don't foresee why it wouldn't be a good pH and everything. What was the last crop we had in here? It was something different, and I don't remember what it was. Cotton. It was cotton. That's it. Obviously, this should be 97. Actually went down. Although this is 100. Oh, this went up. It looks like our sell price for everything should be good. Our environmental score bonus should be good. Looks like all around it looks to be fairly solid, it appears at least. But one nice thing though about the green bean harvest though is the fact that it doesn't fill this up very quick. At least this harvester. I'm not sure how large is the base game one. I'm kind of curious now. It is 15,000 liters. Well, that's actually fairly large. We'd only be at half capacity if we had that right now. Obviously, it's not as large as this. This is like 45,000. Which is obviously a lot more than 15,000. Let's go. Well, looks like we got one more strip on the outer edge to do after this. Then we'll be just about done. Well, I suppose it's been a little bit since we did time lapse, it's been a little bit. I suppose we can start up another one. He'll, again, probably be fairly long. But, allows us to obviously get things done fairly quickly, so. I'll talk to everyone once the time lapse is done. Alright, so we're just about done here with the green bean harvest. The final harvest in this field as well. So we've cleared out 3 fields that are done now. Which is obviously weird to think. I mean, like I see, some of these fields were made fairly early on, some weren't. The ones over there would be earlier, except for the cotton field. That would have been one of the latest ones. We've expanded a lot since the beginning. You know, we've grown a lot, which is kind of expected. Obviously, that's kind of how survival challenges work. You start with little to nothing and become obviously multi-millionaires, preferably by the end. If all goes well, you'll end up a multi-millionaire. Let's get this unloaded. Should all fit in here, I would think. Yep. Now, like I said, we'll get the cotton harvester and stuff sold next month. I just want to get the backup save thing I always do for the end of the series made. And I'd like to do that before I'm missing a bunch of equipment. We're already missing the mowers, so I'd like not to wait too long at this point. And likely we'll probably sell the planter and stuff too, so. Yeah, this should keep the preserved food factory busy for quite some time, I would imagine. It did run out of the green beans from last month very, very quick, so I'd imagine it'd probably be the same way with this, but we'll see for certain, obviously. But the cotton, I will probably get moved off camera. I'll just put them in the production. It's not that interesting. We've done it twice, I think, at this point. You gotta drop them from a height, otherwise they don't go in. But yeah, otherwise, next time we have raisins to sell, maybe a couple other things. Obviously, kind of just depends on what's good, which we have a lot of products in here. This is like one of the few times I've had to scroll in a series to find everything. Obviously, some of it's like wood. You know, it's like, well, you know, it's in a production. It's water. You know, it's in a production. Or soy sauce, where there's like so little that we have left at this point, right? So, which actually, I'm going to get, this will help clear things up a little bit. If we change it to selling on some of those things. What was the other one? This. We'll sell that. Was there anything else that we should be? Whole wheat bread. We can sell that off. Corn tortillas. Then that right there should knock a couple things out of here at least. And then obviously there's still probably, you know, peas are in there. It's 22 liters. You know, seeds, 14 liters. There's such small amounts in here, a lot of things. Chocolate goat milk. I'm not even going to be doing that stuff. So I can knock out a couple of things here. Let's see. We have chocolate, which I'm still making. Chocolate goat milk. Just chocolate milk in general. So that we can sell those. That'll knock out a couple of things. Still, you know, still a lot of onesies and twosies in here. It's just kind of how it ends up being. And there's still a couple of larger ones, you know, like the sorghum and stuff where it's needed for things, but otherwise, not too bad. But yeah, well, anyways, that is about everything for today. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.